They can hear me. They can hear y'all. So that means we're recording. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the bonus roll. We are back playing Briar Garden campaign. I am DM Gearnos. I am joined today by Zizva, Tux, and Meryl. We have a few things to go over, but first I'm going to have everyone introduce themselves and their characters, starting with Meryl.
Hi folks, I'm Merle. You may remember me as the player of Rael Corvino, or Black Dog Savali, or Sawtooth, or we've done a few games on this channel so far.
A few.
Um, but currently I am playing Lady Buttons von Ambergalden, a Herringon artificer. She is fond of things that go click and clack and have moving parts. She is a little bit naive about the world. She is roughly 4 feet tall. If I remember correctly. I'm looking at her character sheet after the first time in a while. Sorry, 3'10". She's not even 4 feet tall.
I was about to say, that's average human size. That's medium.
4 feet is, I think 4 feet counts as small. I could be wrong. Aren't dwarves? Whatever. Anyway, she is a devotee of the little god of turning gears, and she is very bad with money, and I believe that's all we've learned about her so far.
She's also bad with the
Uh,
Feywild.
she hates the Feywild. She hates the Feywild so much. Granted, her ancestors came from there at some point. She still hates the Feywild. Does not work with her brain. She got turned into glass a couple sessions ago. And
Well,
much
questionable about a couple sessions ago.
she got turned into glass at some point in the past.
Well,
Uh,
that's not that's questionable. The part that sounds like it's past tense is what's questionable.
We'll get to that.
okay. All right. So on that note, Ingrid, Zizova, please tell us about your character who is not Ingrid. And yeah,
You
okay.
can call
Look,
this character Kala.
Kala. Please tell us about Kala. Webex still says Zizova is Ingrid. That's why I got confused.
Yeah, I should probably change that, but we do have a one shot coming up too, so lots of back and
True.
forth.
Names are
But
confusing. Please tell us about
yes,
Kala.
Kala is an ex Rose turned fairy who followed and R was whisked away by the students back to the material plane. She learned about celestial and common while in the tower, and then decided the tower was a bad sample size for um, anthropological information and headed to the town and found a home. She became a flower selling merchant. Because anyway, they'd ignored her for a day or two and she ran out of the books that were in her room. So she just flew out the window.
I have a question.
Huh?
Would it be fair to say that Kala is an immaterial girl living in a material world?
Yes, yes, it would.
All right.
I mean, she didn't even take any of the coins, though.
Hmm.
Little
But,
painful. Love it.
but yep, fairy flower selling merchant currently in the Feywild. So, Tux, you're up.
Hey everybody, I'm Tux. I'm playing the Packing Rogue, who you can refer to as Bert. Uh, Pakin is a large, um, feline, telepathic, and yeah, he's a rogue, and he likes treasure. He very much is a material cat,
All right.
and that's how wacky hijinks ensue.
Currently in a
If,
non-material plane.
if
Uh,
this were a
He's
Final Fantasy
corporeal.
setting, he could be a material curl.
oh, some people are not going to get that, but I do. Also, I now know how to pronounce that word. It's been bugging me for a while.
No one's really sure. I don't know. It looks like it's French.
Doesn't
So
everything
I
look
just
like it's French?
well, with the OEU, uh, I just kind of ignore most of the vowels.
That's what you do with French. Anyway, I don't actually speak French that well, so please do not take my
No,
advice if
you're
you are.
absolutely right.
We
I speak some
apologize
French.
to all the French people that watch this show.
Yeah, all three of y'all. If any of y'all happen to be French, French,
Unproven. Most of our audience is in Germany.
it's at least a
Those
True.
third.
French
Also,
people.
hello EQ. I hope you see this, and I hope you're having a good day when you see it.
Yes.
So
Hi, future EQ.
a few quick rundowns before I launch into the to the what's up. We are resuming Briar Garden. We are going to be doing Briar Garden this week and next week, and then we will be doing the Coronation of Circe Corvino, the third Second Sight Agency one shot. Um, Ronnie will no longer be joining us on games due to personal conflicts between us that we will not be getting into. Please do not ask us about it because it's a lot of ranting and I don't want to do it a third or a fourth or an 18th time. Let's see here. We are going to have some new players joining us, who Zizva and I have known for a while. We have very carefully vetted these players. And they will hopefully be joining us next session. Uh, Note
For new
list.
shenanigans.
Yes, shenanigans shall ensue. Uh,
Shenanigans always ensue.
we
I mean,
are.
this is the type of campaign for it.
Mhm. Our D&D streams are going to be pre-recorded as are most of our TTRPG streams going forward. I will be doing regular watch parties as well as streaming Shroud of the Avatar, which I forgot to update the recording information on, but that's fine. I can fix it in post. Um, Shroud of the Avatar, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy 14, and Monster Hunter Rise. So just follow us on Twitter at Bonus Roll for notifications that we are going live, and I will try and make sure it gets put out what our watch party movies are. I actually have no idea how watch parties work. I just know I sit here, watch a movie while playing a video game, and make comments, and occasionally people in chat say something. So I don't know if you.
I loaded one of them, and it kind of showed just you in the game. It didn't actually show the thing you're watching. I don't know if the sound was there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you have to be signed into an Amazon Prime account or have Amazon Prime or something like that to watch it. I don't know. I've never watched a watch party. I should probably check with Blue. I know they do them.
We might just need a sample one because I don't have Prime. We could check it out.
Okay, hey, instead of moving furniture after the game, I can do a watch party.
No, because we already have people coming over.
Ah,
We
well,
have to clean up floors and move furniture.
with all that said, I suppose I should remind y'all what's happening. After a pleasant morning in Port Glassbreaker, y'all were discovered invitations to a location, namely the Sayan, Cynan, Sanan Institute, requesting your presence. Meeting a young woman with shockingly red hair. Uh, y'all extorted a significant sum of money and treasure from her in exchange for going to find her mentor and or boss. One Abernath, I believe his name was. Port Glassbreaker, Agnes Ravenchild, Attenborough. Um, she led y'all down to the basement of the tower, wherein y'all transversed into the Feywild. A series of adventures within the Feywild have led y'all encountering a village full of small mouse-like people, a wispy woman with wavy hair that seems to know more than she is letting on and gives y'all half information and not quite lying, but not quite telling y'all the truth either, it seems. You have found a bunch of bones in her backyard and then covered those back up, got gassed by something, spent the night in the woods, woke up in the middle of the night in the woods after 8 hours, found a lake that had appeared mysteriously behind where y'all were camping. Had an encounter with a glowing orb wearing a pirate hat, um, piloting a small boat. Met two dragons having a riddle contest over an egg. One of y'all got glassed. One of y'all got turned back from glass except for the heart. One of y'all
Oh, right.
died due to having a glass heart. And then we're sent on a task for the Lady in the Woods to deal with a issue that has been causing her some problem, namely a spectral creature that was inhabiting a spring that she used to frequent. Having defeated this creature through rather unorthodox combat tactics in some of y'all's cases, and y'all had discovered a cache of loot left over from the previous victims of whatever this specter was. As y'all are discussing whether to take the loot or leave it behind you at Ren's insistence, a hunger passes over each of you. You feel your attention drawn to the northeast. As you turn to look towards it, you see a black dog, huge in size with bristling fur and glowing red eyes staring at y'all from between the um what's the center part of the tree? The
Trunk?
trunks. Wow. I need to get some. I need to see someone about that. I should not be forgetting trunks. The trunks of the trees. As your attention turns back to Ren, you hear from the strangled sound he makes. You notice his body is warping and twisting, black fur sprouting along his limbs as they twist and pop and elongate. After merely a heartbeat or two, where Ren once stood, a large black dog with glowing red eyes stares at you instead. Waves of palpable hunger radiating off of it. With a low growl, he turns and walks into the woods.
Buttons, he told me he was made out of Aladdin's. I think he might have lied to me.
Hey, wait. Uh, do you know why that just happened?
No?
Right. Is that likely to happen to the rest of us?
We should get out of here.
Buttons, you have a light pain in your chest.
Right. Let's go. I need my heart back. Uh, maybe he'll be all right here. I don't know what's going on. I mean,
Well,
that's
the
true
one
of pretty
dog
much
went
everything
and
we've
got
done
the
here.
other dog, so I guess he's made of dogs.
That is perhaps true. Maybe he'll get better. Uh, on his own? I don't
Is
know.
Aladdin's better than dogs?
That's
We should go.
yes.
Okay.
Philosophical questions for later. And
You're
I'm
on
out of
mute,
gear.
Karen.
Are y'all taking the loot with y'all, or are y'all leaving it behind?
Buttons had actually already put it away in the bag
Okay,
before.
just wanted to confirm.
I do remember that conversation.
Yep.
okay.
Even the coins that Bert was rolling around on?
Yep, they were put back in the box and our bag that they were in individually and
Okay.
put in.
You notice as Bert is walking along the ground, several of the um, blades of grass and detritus from the trees take on a golden hue around, for like about maybe a quarter inch away from his paws.
He's going to um very quickly uh like start running away because he just saw one of these like apparitions turn somebody into another one of those apparitions. So he's like, I don't know how this works. I don't want to find out.
Uh,
Right. Bert, don't run too fast. You might run into a web, and Kala's gonna fly after him.
Okay, Bert's gonna like stop, like, but he's clearly panicked, probably shaking.
We head towards the hut. We head towards the hut, Bert. Walk and look out for spider webs. That's what you've got to do right now. Okay, take a breath, count to 3, and then look for spider webs, and then start walking.
Make a
But yeah.
perception check.
Okay. Why did I do digital die?
That's just a bird thing.
Yep. Nope.
Well, clearly he's shaken, so it makes sense. But 6.
Nope. Nope. You don't see any spider webs. You do notice, however, that gold tinge is continuing to appear on everything around you that you draw near. Even when you walk by the edge of a tree, the edge of the tree starts to glitter softly with the color of gold.
Right.
Nobody touch me.
Right. I do want to. It would be rude of me to like toss a pebble at you, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Not hard. I just want to see what happens.
Would a coconut be
He
better?
gives like a sort of hiss.
Why not just wait? Why not just pick up one of the petals where he already walked?
Sorry, is it like there's a glow off of him and everything in that glow is gold, or is stuff staying gold after he moves past it?
Where he is standing, everything from about half an inch out from his paws, it looks gold.
Okay, but not tracks.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Uh,
Well, the old pebbles didn't stay gold, so I don't think that's how it works, Buttons.
We should go.
let's go. Let's go quickly. And she's gonna just kind of like rub at her chest, over
You
the
feel a
armor.
hard spot under your shirt.
Let's go quickly. Let's get home while most of us are capable of getting home. I want my heart back.
Well, let's see. The no glass was for getting rid of the spirit, so maybe. What do you mean you want your heart back?
I want my
Buttons didn't
heart
tell
to
anyone.
not be gold.
It's not.
Not be glass.
But
Hush.
she
Wish
turned you
granted.
not glass.
Wait, sorry. What did college say?
But she turned you not glass. Buttons never told anyone that that was what was going on.
Oh, you're right.
Y'all would have noticed that there was a hard lump when y'all were performing first aid on her after she immediately died from having from leaving the range of the supportive magic.
Right. Uh, hold up one second. But would you, uh, look away for a moment? Kala, uh,
He's a cat.
are you, I'm terribly sorry. I'm not entirely sure how it works with pixies. Are you a woman?
I'm a flower. I think so. They said she.
Okay, good enough. Yeah, but please just look away for a moment. And she's going to like, uh, with if Bert turns away from Odyssey, she's going to like quickly undo her armor enough to just kind of show the glass to Kala.
It
And
is
then
a lump of glass a little bit larger than two fists held together in roughly the shape of an anatomical heart. Right over the left side.
Oh, hey, you can see blood through it.
You can.
yes, it's not good, is what I'm saying. It's not that's not how blood is. That's not how it's supposed to work.
This is a very awkward conversation when you can't see what's happening.
Uh, Sorry. Yeah, she's going to
Cover back up.
readjust her armor and sorry about that, but you are a boy cat, to the best of my knowledge. Uh, and some things simply aren't done. I the Not all of me is back to flesh and blood. is all you need to know.
So
And
we go
it's not
back and we say that the glass thing didn't fully work, but we got the spirit out.
yes, let's do exactly that. I get the feeling this was more along the along lines of insurance, that we would not simply walk away with the task incomplete.
Okay, because the other option would be she just doesn't know how to do it, and that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, Buttons are gonna like literally just freeze for a second, like ears up, like pause mid-step, and just go, I hadn't thought of that.
Well, she clearly knows how much more about how to deal with it than we do.
Yes, excellent point, but let's get back to her and let her know that we've completed the task, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And everyone watch for spider webs.
Indeed, let's all watch for spider webs. Uh, all right. So which one of us, if any, are taking point?
I kind of figured if for at least the spider webs, we just all roll.
I'm
Okay.
fine with that.
But as far as navigation,
Do any of us have, well, or
we
do
can
we have to,
just faster travel if we want, maybe.
right. Uh, you are the closest thing we have to an expert on this region, if it can be called region.
Narrative.
I beat the Feywild.
It's probably a region of somewhere.
Right.
But since we didn't walk in between to begin with, we don't really know how to walk in between back, so we'll probably have to do the other method.
Right. The other method is normal navigation, or
No, 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 that thing where we hold hands and we take a step and we're like, we need to go to the next spot.
ah,
Because we didn't
yes,
walk to begin with, so I don't know how to walk back. Also, I flew.
fair. Ah, yes. Let's do that then. Bert, Kala, and she'll just like reach out her hands.
Hands.
Okay.
Right.
Kitty paw.
I
Oh,
think you're having to grab like some part of
The
the
grab
hood.
the
harness. Yeah.
harness. Yeah.
I kind of need my. I
Feet.
can't really
Legs
give
to
you a paw
walk.
and also walk.
I have held my
Right.
cat's paw and made him walk around on the bed. He did not enjoy it, but he did it.
Yeah, it's awkward, is what we're saying. Uh, right. So, what do we say then?
So now the group has finished their task, but found part of the deal less than complete. So needs to go back in and update and ask questions. And she shrugs and steps forward.
All right. I like to think she's floating in the air as she does this, and she just does like the step in the air.
Yep.
As y'all move forward, there is a shifting transition. Y'all were in a slightly wooded area around the. I keep on wanting to say shrine, and that's not the right word.
I think we're
Spring.
2 steps away, so we have to do 2
Yeah.
for that, right?
With the first step, you find yourself deeper in the woods with a darkness coming off of the trees, overhead draping spider webs hang low enough to brush Kala's hair. With the second step you'll take, though, you are transported once more to a familiar circular clearing in which a low mudstone house rests. A hanging curtain of tanned leather acting as a door in front of the building. You are, of course, just outside the circle.
Time to go visit again.
Indeed. Hopefully, with hopefully to put an end to this in a that sounded worse than I meant it when I thought it.
Well,
Maybe a spider dog.
also she said she might know some things about the professor if we wanted to make any other deals. So I think
Could he have become a spider dog?
It is. I don't know. Is it possible?
I don't know.
it doesn't seem like he would have scorched their area if he was just going to become one, though.
Hmm.
Because then you got less pack. That's a thing, right?
True, but he might not have known he was going to become. We don't know for certain, so perhaps we shouldn't speculate. Oh
Or,
dear. Ah,
or he became a skeleton.
or he became a skeleton, or perhaps he simply died.
Maybe he was
Uh,
already a skeleton.
I
right.
mean, he probably had a skeleton.
I mean, we never asked at the university.
This is true.
It's not
Theo,
normally a question you ask, though.
Well, I was like, I need to bring supplies with me. I need to bring a musical instrument. And she handed me a bone flute. Maybe they just have a lot of bones around there.
that raises some questions I don't think I want, to which I do not think I want to know the answers.
Uh,
It was a thigh bone.
It was a. Did Colin just say typo?
Oh,
thigh
thigh
bone.
bone.
She can actually
Okay.
show you the thigh bone flute if she wanted.
Absurd. Uh, tick. Buttons is going to just walk up. Uh, I don't know. Knock on the. Sorry, doesn't have a. It has a door, right?
Nope. It has a hanging curtain of tanned leather.
Right. Okay.
Kala
Knock
is
on the
faintly bee
wall.
buzzing behind
It
you.
makes an audible knocking sound like you are knocking on wood.
Uh, Carla, would it be unwise to ask if we may enter? I don't understand how this
I
place
don't think I
works.
could lockpick it.
I mean, we just knocked, so don't you go to a house and then you knock and then you wait for someone?
That is
I
true.
don't know any houses where I asked the house if we could go in. It could be though.
Buttons is going to follow Carla's lead and wait.
Now that y'all have stepped into the clearing, you'll notice that it's once again roughly a little bit past noon, it seems, with the sun hanging almost completely overhead. Before y'all had come here, it was nighttime. So you get the sensation that something has changed. You're not sure what.
Yay. We've
Did
done
they get to
something,
sleep?
we just don't know.
You'll stand at the door for about 5 minutes before a soft voice kind of echoes over your shoulder. Like, what are we waiting for?
I need to turn the volume up. Uh, there.
A soft voice echoes, what are we waiting for?
All
Did
right.
that hear better?
Yes, I also turned my volume up.
Okay.
I just had to turn something else down. Okay. So buttons will enter.
It's like the door, the curtain does not move.
Uh, okay, she did say come in, right?
No, she said, what are we waiting for?
Oh, I actually did mishear then. Uh, I did not wish to be rude.
Then you should
Uh,
probably face me when you're talking to me, my dear.
like
Kala
that is an
looks
in
around.
character sigh.
What Khaled
And
say?
I
Buttons
said
gonna
Kala
turn
looks
around.
around.
There's a tall woman in ethereal floating with ethereally floating hair in a daphnis gown, standing behind you. A luminescent disc hovers about maybe 5 feet behind her with a basket of herbs set upon it. She just looks at y'all inquisitively.
Buttons didn't stay very not glass.
Does she respond to that?
No, she's just standing there watching.
Right. I was not conscious for the conversation for fairly obvious reasons, but did you enter into a deal with my friends to turn me back to flesh and blood?
I do not believe that is what they requested.
Would you mind uh, informing me as to what they did request then?
Uh, to have you turned back. Come
Turned.
along, Fragile Heart. And she kind of pushes past y'all and pushes the curtain open as she ducks into her building.
And we are having audio issues with some of the conversation with her. It's your mic's not catching the first of syllables and stuff
Okay,
part
let
of the
me
time.
adjust a few things. Test,
So
test.
I didn't hear the part with the heart, only that you said heart.
Oh, she said, "Come along, Fragile Heart."
Okay.
Was
Okay.
she saying that to Buttons or
Yes.
to the cart? Okay.
And then she pushes past y'all and ducks under the doorway, pushing past the leather curtain, which I have
Well,
said entirely too much in too short of a time. It sounds weird now.
I suppose Buttons will enter following.
All right. Inside the building, it's much as y'all had seen before. A single bed, shelves of herbals and urgents, a crackling fire with a cauldron over it. No creature in a cage hanging over the cauldron still. Sorry, Bert.
Okay. I'm just glad
Right.
it's not me.
She
That
moves to her shelves and starts sorting herbs and just kind of keeping herself busy. You muted her.
Here,
Oh, can I follow him? She's calling out after her. Sorry.
Oh, yes, please, come on in.
shall walk in.
Buzz buzz.
So, have you dealt with the issue?
I'm sure I'm not personally aware of the issue to which you refer. Uh, I'm going to come right
Buttons.
out and ask it. Why did you leave my heart as glass?
Buttons. The issue is the thing at the pond.
She makes a
I,
passive gesture. Well,
The issue is she's
oh,
talking
right.
about the pond thing.
Right. Yes, the issue at the pond has been dealt with, I believe.
excellent. Ah, well then, I do believe our business is concluded then.
I
Uh,
do not believe that it is.
I don't think previous Buttons had a glass heart.
No, but she had a fragile heart. Didn't you, my dear? She
That
kind of moves up next to Buttons and softly caresses the tips of her fingers across Buttons' cheek. Very fragile. Very
you
worried about things. I will take the puzzle box and the wooden bowl. I do so love Electrum.
in exchange for.
What do you want?
I'm just gonna look over at Buttons.
to be restored completely to flesh and blood, my own
No,
flesh and blood, in my
no,
own form as I was before I entered this damn Feywild place. and to have any information that you have about the whereabouts of the professor.
That's quite a lot to ask, Fragile Heart.
That is not my name.
But it is your story.
My story is something you know little of. And yeah, the rabbit is actually starting to get offended at this. It's
Uh,
like,
Sweet little
in
flower,
character,
what
not
is
out of
your
character.
thought?
I don't like the glass.
If that is what y'all want, very well.
So, is there another way to fix it? If it's because of being fragile, can buttons just decide not to be fragile?
Maybe. I'm sure you could find someone else who's willing to deal with you. Are you saying that you would like your heart hardened then?
I did not say anything of the sort.
Hmm, just checking.
Isn't glass already hard?
That is also true.
Glass is a liquid, my dear. You leave it in a place long enough and it'll thicken at the bottom and thin at the top.
Okay, that is not actually true.
But it's an interesting story.
Like that's out of character. That is me saying that is not actually true. I don't know if
Yes.
it's true in this
Actually,
world,
an
but
As
artificer
an
would know.
artificer. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
he'd probably know properties of elements and
Glass is
that
not a
sort of thing.
liquid. It's an amorphous solid.
Maybe, but it is an interesting story. And you are in a place of stories. So,
All right. Well, so how about this story? Uh,
make it
I'm not actually very
interesting.
good at stories.
That's a terrible story.
It is
I
really a
was
terrible story.
I hadn't started yet. So, four companions entered the Feywild in search of a lost uh, professor, and they went through various trials and tribulations, and they learned to work better together, and they underwent the loss of one of their number, but the other three uh, restored what had been lost and found the professor that they sought and returned home with him to continue their stories somewhere else far from here.
It's a little rushed. There's no growth beyond working together. An individual of anguish really made it much more interesting, though I will definitely accept that as payment. And she snaps her fingers. And Buttons, make a constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, Lord. Okay. 18.
18. You have an intense pain in your chest for about maybe 3 seconds before it fades.
All right. Uh, one moment. And she's going to turn away from everybody and just very quickly check.
Shield your eyes, the rest of you.
Am I supposed to? Button
I
said I'm a
wasn't
girl
talking to
too.
you, my dear.
One's going to just pause and then continue checking. Is she back to flesh and blood?
Looks like it, though there is a white patch of fur where the glass had been.
And she can feel her heartbeat and all that again.
She could feel it before.
Oh, okay. I thought she couldn't for some reason.
Nope.
It has been a bit. Uh, I will call it a battle scar. Fine. All right. And is this going to? I don't know. It's not going to turn back to glass if I leave the Feywild or something like that, or turn to rose petals or wax wings or something absurd like that,
Or a spider dog.
That's up to
or
your
a spider
story, my
dog.
dear.
Thank you, Bert. Sorry. What did you actually say? Sorry, I talked over you.
That's up to your story, my dear.
Right.
You aren't made out of roses, are you?
Are
Helen
you?
looks a little
Except it.
confused.
Except in as much as I've eaten some in the past, no.
Well,
Okay.
you know they say we are what we eat. And she gives like a very twisting grin.
All right then.
Paula
In
pokes
that case,
Buttons.
what are you?
Me? Now, that is information. Is that the information you want? I still want that puzzle box and that bowl. As I said, I like Electrum.
The puzzle box and the bowl were not magical, right? Or at
No.
least they didn't give off magical uh,
Though Bert is very
auras.
protective of the puzzle box, she would remember that.
Right. I'm trying to remember because I'm looking over my notes. Was there something in the puzzle box?
There was a small sheet of paper with a seal on it that had 3 dragon heads.
Okay. Uh,
You're muted, hon?
did we take it out of the box? Like, is the box currently empty? I don't
Yes.
remember because it's been a bit. Okay. Uh, the bowl in the puzzle box.
Yes.
I don't know because Bert's pretty attached to that box. What about the bowl for location assistance and finding the professor?
Not nearly enough.
The bowl and the puzzle box
Yes.
for assistance in locating.
Until
And
said professor
retrieving.
is found, i.e., not he's not in my head, and then it's done.
She smiles at Kala. Little flower, I hope you return to your garden someday. They are surely poorer without you.
Hmm. If it's if it's a if the deal is acceptable to the two of you, then I suppose it's acceptable to me as well. All right. So I don't know who actually has the bowl or the puzzle box. Is it in the bag, or is the
You have
bowl in
the
the bag of
bowl in the
holding?
bag.
Yep,
I
they're in the bag.
believe I have the puzzle box. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah,
I do
Buttons will
believe
take
Because
puzzle
out
box is
the
in Bert's box. Sorry. I believe Bert's
Bert's
box is in Bert's
saddlebags.
bag.
But where are Bert's bees? At the grocery store.
Buzz.
I was about to say, I don't think I really own her.
All right. But yeah, so Buttons will take out the bowl. And it is quite nice scroll work, I do have to say.
Electrum, silver, mithril. They're such pretty metals. A shame that y'all didn't go and get me the bars when I had first asked. But it's fine.
We
Anyway, she takes
not
the bowl from Button's hand before Buttons can change her mind.
okay.
And my lovely
Uh,
box?
Yeah, Turtle.
And she plucks that from
Very,
the
like,
air.
the box, like, very slowly, like, kind of
Yeah, she just
floats.
plucks it out of the air like picking a flower. She takes both of those over and sets them on the little shelves that she has full of knickknacks and curios. Well, then, I guess I should give you information. And she grins a little. Your professor dines in a place where flowers dance and petals swirl. He sups upon sweet things and drinks well-made teas.
Wait, hang on. I was not able to start writing that down. Dines, a place where where flowers what now?
Flowers dance and petals swirl.
Okay.
He
He
sips.
sups
Yep.
upon. Was it? He sups upon sweet nectar,
Sweet things
sweet things.
and drinks well-made tea. Now that sounds like a story that's not very interesting to me. But I'm sure that will be a decent signpost for your little guide. And if you need any further assistance, Fragile Heart,
Not
I'll
my
be
main.
happy to lend it to y'all. But y'all should leave now. You have someone to see.
Very well.
Buzz.
Right.
But how long were you in the port?
How long was she in the what?
In the port,
Port Glassbreaker.
through the
Oh,
portal.
not terribly long.
And I assume they're kind of leaving out the door with this.
If y'all
Yep.
want.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
let's scarp her.
Yep.
Scarborough Fair.
Oh shoot! Did not know I could do that. Sorry, my text editor apparently has a zoom function that I accidentally activated.
Huh, cool.
Yeah. I don't actually recall how long Buttons had been staying in the port. I do know that she was just kind of frittering away all of the money that she brought with her. So let's say a couple weeks.
Buttons had been dispatched to the port by her aunt, I believe it was, to have her check on a ship.
Yes.
And she had
Okay.
arrived maybe 3 days beforehand.
Okay.
Met up with Bert, hired Bert as her escort around because Bert knows ships, and then woken up with a letter in her pack, I believe it was, saying, "Hey, come to this tower."
Yes. As she was coming to the end of her spending money.
Hmm.
Okay. I have more notes written somewhere, but I don't know where they are. Oh well.
The
It's like here is a bit of like a reflection of there. So if you were there, where would you go for tea?
To a tea shop, I suppose, or to I don't know. Are coffee shops a thing in this setting?
yes,
To a coffee shop, most likely. Uh, I do. It does dawn on me that we did not check in what form the professor currently is. Uh,
Oh, is that important?
I don't know. I don't know if that message could be. Oh, I don't know. Oh, he's suddenly a tree, or something like that, drinking morning dew and water from a well. It could be well-made tea. I don't know. I'm
Well,
trying
if
to
it was
adapt.
a tree, I guess he'd be in a really windy spot.
you'll notice that the grass and stuff around Bert's paws is no longer turning gold.
Out of character. Meryl, could you put that text in the chat?
Oh, yes, I can. Boop. And
I forgot to mute
Discord chat roll
Discord.
20. I'll put in roll 20.
Sure.
Oh, right, I'm not on roll 20. That's why there's no background music.
Gasp. Also, the background music is really quiet for me. Let me turn that up a little. No, I have the volume up pretty high.
Background music is provided by Tabletop Audio, your one-stop shop for all tabletop audio needs. Just say their name. I need to remove that from there. That problem is dealt with. Okay, launch game.
Whoa.
Hmm?
Okay. Roll 20 just reloaded itself for me. I don't know why.
Oh, cool. They have a dark mode on roll 20 now.
They
Uh-huh.
do.
Finally.
I love
But
it.
of course, since we don't have a
Alpha.
map loaded, it's still white in the center.
Yep.
Yeah, now if only we could get a dark mode for character sheets.
You can. It's called
There
Underdark
is.
mode.
Uh-huh.
Why do I not have that?
It's
I
under
don't know.
your
I
edit.
even have it, and I don't usually use that mode. I use it because it messes up my screen lighting to have too much white on that side.
Anyway, sorry for the distraction.
It's all good.
Is it?
But doesn't it seem odd if the professor lost all the guards and lost the shipment and can't get the Heartbroken Sorrows thing, that he'd just go and get food and drink and not go back?
Don't. I don't know.
What is tea made out of?
Boiling water and leaves, usually. There are various forms of herbal teas or tisanes, which are comprised of various herbs, roots, some even bark or peels of various fruit. And yeah, Buttons is quite willing to start going on to the various finer points of tea and the various kinds of tea and the making thereof until somebody stops her.
Amber Galden is very tea-centric place, even especially considering it is situated at the northern reaches of the region, just at the edge of a frozen tundra. A warm drink is very welcome there.
It's quite the thing after a
So,
long day.
so when you were in the port, did you go get a lot of tea at places?
I mean, I not so much, not more than any other time.
As y'all move
But
outside,
to the player
the
means yes.
as y'all move outside, the leather curtain kind of closes with the slamming of a door.
It's a very strange place indeed. I do hope we can get out of here alive, and in our own shapes.
Yes, definitely not a spider dogs.
I don't know. He didn't seem very spider-like.
Dance and petals swirl. He sups upon sweet things and drinks well-made tea.
Bird, do you have a thought?
Several. Uh, okay. Sort of out of character question. What is there a pre- prevalent concept of the afterlife
Uh,
in the setting?
a few different variations of it within. Most people believe that they go to reside within the domain of their preferred little god, or go to join the devas at the edge of heaven,
Okay.
or eventually cycle back through into a new life.
Okay.
And
Now,
I
in
wonder
character,
remind,
I wouldn't know if that's the prevalent belief of the Feywild, but
No. What were you saying, hon?
I want to remind you, we talked about possibly running late since we started late, and that's not an option.
Oh, okay.
uh,
Right.
I think the turned into a plant is one conclusion.
it may just be
Uh,
my brain spinning in circles.
the second may be that he has passed on.
Maybe he's actually at a tea party and we're just maybe I'm borrowing trouble. That would be lovely.
Well, that's why I was wondering if there's a good reflected tea place.
Right. So let's do with that. Let's try that first. Tea place, tea place. I mean, there's the. I don't know. Just can I just make up the names of tea shops?
I mean, if you want to, that those would likely be in Ambergalden. You do know of the Queen's Cloud in Port Glassbreaker. If, uh,
Okay.
the place run by the Dwarven proprietor. They do teas and meals, and it's rather a higher end offering place than, say, the Poor Magpie Bar off of the docks.
Okay. So she will pass that along.
I mean,
I mean, y'all all been there.
how how much cursory knowledge would somebody have of the Feywild? Like,
Depends.
obviously, I wouldn't know specific things, but would I know, like, okay, there tends to be, like, Fey lords and courts. Like,
Uh,
would I have...
make a
That's fine.
religion check.
Okay. Try a physical die this time. It's a 19.
19. You do know that there are stronger Fey that lord over portions of the Feywild, but you don't have any specific knowledge of any of the Archfey or of the mechanics about them just because it's outside the breadth of your normal experience.
Okay, so I wouldn't know of legends of, like, Archfey having, like, grandiose courts or something like that.
Not particularly,
Okay.
at least not in the specifics. You would imagine that, like, a lord or lady having a large court would be understandable.
Yeah.
Do you think he went after some of the stuff he's supposed to bring back?
I mean, I would assume so. I don't know what, but I guess another possibility is that he is dining under one of the powerful rulers that Rain was talking about.
Like the seasons things?
Like the really the the really powerful Fae.
Like for the seasons?
Sure, or other things, possibly.
Oh, I don't know much about the other things. I know there's a spring and Ren was a summer.
Um, could y'all? I can't find. It's not opening the sheets right now. Could y'all give me y'all's passive perceptions real quick?
Sure.
Uh,
13.
13.
12.
Okay. Sorry, I just couldn't get access to it. Like, it's sitting here spinning while I'm trying to access y'all's character sheets.
13, 13, and 12.
Yep. Please continue. Sorry to interrupt.
If we haven't left her clearing, we probably go outside the clearing if all of y'all are good with that.
I am entirely fine with that. Buttons is not a fan.
You do see off in the distance the giant crystal astrolabe that y'all had emerged from under.
So that way's the port, and if there was a tea house at the port, so people live more along water. There's more people along water because it turns out you have to drink even if you're not a flower. So there's more businesses along water. And I think the tea house you were at was near port. So if we wanted to look for a reflection of a tea house, it's probably that way.
All right. Then let's see about finding ourselves some tea. Hopefully away with Professor. Is it as simple as just, can we just walk?
We could try it. Kala
Right.
holds up her hand and waves it around.
All right. Link arms and let's try.
Having completed a trade for information, the group finds out that the professor may be at a tea party, so goes off to investigate where they think the closest tea party is and takes a step.
All right. You take a step, and you find yourself once more in the dark woods with the draping cobwebs overhead.
Take another step because usually it's 2 steps.
We take another step in case.
Okay. Y'all take another step, and there's a shift. Y'all are still in the darkened space, though it is not as dark, and there are fewer cobwebs overhead. You do not see a clearing nearby or anything, though. You're muted.
Or Kala sniffs for tea.
Don't smell tea.
We do smell tea? Okay.
No.
We do.
That seems promising.
No, it was a no.
You do not.
Oh, we do not. Dang it. Okay. Cancel. I did not say that then.
Well, we can take one more step forward, and if it doesn't work, try stepping backwards.
Bert kind of shrugs his shoulders.
Whoop.
All right, one more step. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Uh, 7.
7,
25.
25,
18.
18. Kala and Bert. Kala zooms over it as she steps through, and Bert kind of skitters underneath. But taking a step forward, y'all suddenly transition into a well-lit, cobbled area. A delicate scent of rose fills the air as Buttons goes top over tea kettle as she immediately walks into a tea serving tray and tumbles over it. The hush that surrounds y'all is literally palpable as about 16 tables of people turn to look at you. You see folks of various races, sizes, ethnicities, ages, and persuasions uh, having various teas, signs, and treats.
Huh.
I forgot I have lucky footwork. I don't think it would have helped.
Yeah. Bert just like kind of slowly starts like turning over the tea trays and placing it back. I mean, there's no liquid in it or anything. It just like lifts up the tea tray.
What do I do, Kala?
Um, you fix the things, and then you bow and announce the group.
Attention is slowly drifting away from y'all.
Right. So yeah,
Kala actually has no idea. She
but
just made
Buttons
stuff.
will.
Aren't you
It
the one
sounds good.
in the social circles?
Not in the Feywild, I'm not. Yeah, Buttons will join Bert in trying to tidy up the mess.
There is no
Uh,
tea in any of the stuff.
right. Is anything physically broken?
No.
Okay. Right. Uh. Right.
Well, we have a general idea what the professor looks like. Kala's going to scan the crowd and see if any tables look like they have the professor.
Make a
Or at least how he looked like when he was humanish.
well, you didn't know he was human.
Well, we saw the reflection of whatever the sphere saw him
You
as
saw a
that
humanoid
showed.
form, yes, in the
Okay,
sphere, with slightly pointed ears, but it gave you no size reference or any
okay.
spatial reference. So go ahead and make a perception check.
All of
Uh,
us?
I'm gonna assume all of us.
12.
12,
16.
16,
9.
9. Uh, Kala, you kind of, your attention just keeps getting drifted over to Buttons as she, like, puts tea saucers back on top of teacups, and then teacups upside down next to teapots. Buttons, you're a little bit more interested in like trying to right everything that you knocked over, and trying to figure out you why you managed to avoid. Sorry, not why. How you managed to avoid breaking anything with that tumble. Bert, you see a number of people that vaguely meet the description in that they are humanoid with slightly pointed ears. There's a handful of gnomes, a plenty of elves, and even a few maybe orcs. You're not sure. They are reddish. Wait, no, you would know what a hobgoblin is, or a few hobgoblins with a slightly point to their ears.
Okay, I'm gonna take a wild guess. One doesn't usually see hobgoblins drinking tea, correct?
Make a nature check.
Do digital. 13.
13. You know that hobgoblins, goblins, and bugbears are all actual Fey descendants.
Huh. Wait, are there any humans or...
You see no humans here.
Okay.
They're humanoids.
Okay, and shoot. Did we get the name of the professor? I
Attenborough.
don't see it on my notes. Attenborough?
I believe so. Let me check.
Attenborough, okay, yes. Now I see
Are
it.
there any... Sorry, the generic form above Paquin.
Uh, Kalakeen.
Yes.
No, you do not see any Kalakeen.
Okay. Is anybody looking at me?
No, not really. Most people have either were watching buttons or have drifted back to their personal conversations.
Are there any Harengon?
No. Though,
Oh,
as y'all watch, you do see a fairy and a pixie kind of flitter by and deliver a plate of scones to a table.
Ah, that answers my question. Before I asked it.
Are there any empty tables?
No. There are 16 tables with four chairs at each, and there is at least one person at every table.
Oh,
You're muted, hun.
It cut out again on part of that word. Did you say 6 or 16? 'Cause I
There are
thought you said
16
16.
tables
Okay.
with four chairs each, and all of them have at least one person at the table.
Are there any with just one person at the table?
There are four of them.
Kyla will scrutinize those a little bit more for signs. It might be the professor, look at ears among those four, and also look for any clothing that might have the academy style.
All right. So, looking at the tables, one of them is occupied by a gnome. Um, he is a elderly-looking individual. One of them is occupied by what you believe is either a half-elf or a very thin-blooded elf, so to say, because their ears are not nearly as prominent. And the third one is occupied by a hobgoblin, wearing a long set of robes.
I thought you said four with just one person?
Yes, but those are the only ones that have people with pointed ears.
Okay. And none of them look like they're wearing academy style clothing, right?
No, the closest you see is the hobgoblin in the robes.
sorry,
And
what's the gnome wearing again?
The gnome is a elderly looking gnome. He is wearing just a simple you're not quite sure as to profession, but it's just a simple tunic and pants with a traveling kit at the side of his chair.
so Kala looks around and sees if any of those three tables have a bunch of flowers near them versus the other tables.
No, not really, though you
Excuse me.
do see a number of pixies and fairies floating through the air.
So then she checks which tables have food at them.
All the
Of
tables
the
have
three.
at least some hand food of some sort. Biscottis, tea cakes, what are those little cookies with the cream filling? Macaroons.
So all three of them have at least something sweet, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well. Those three seem most likely if we want to talk to people.
Good eye.
Also, don't sit down.
Much appreciated. Ow. Sorry, I just accidentally started a video that was very loud.
You okay?
Yeah, I was switching between tabs trying to close some and accidentally clicked play on one.
I have done that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's probably safer to not drink any not tea that's there, or any tea if you
To
start seeing tea, or to sit down until you're sure you want to do any of those things.
wait, to not drink any not tea. Oh, okay.
Like
Uh,
in the thing that turned over, there wasn't tea. Don't drink that either.
S- So what about the surroundings other
right.
than okay, we have 16 tables.
16 tables, you see a kind of maybe chest high rose hedge that circles around the entire area. You do not see a way in or out. The cobblestone underneath you has a faint pattern worked into the rock of kind of twisting vines with thorns. Every now and then, you see, actually rather regularly, you see a fairy and a pixie pair flutter over the hedge and bring something to one of the tables or take something away from one of the tables.
Uh, Perhaps I should allow one of you to lead the way after my faux pas upon arriving here.
I wish I had some pie left.
There is a few moments, and then a pixie flutters by carrying a cloche. That's it. A cloche covered plate. Uh, they approach Kala and with a flourish reveal the top, remove the cloche from the top of it, revealing a small, like, it's an entire pie, but it's like maybe a little bit larger than a cupcake.
Oh, that's not the same one. I'm sorry.
There is a long moment of the pixie holding it out before it covers the food back up, and then flutters over the hedge.
We should go talk to one of the tables. Well, no, the person at the table. Well, unless the table talks.
I wish somebody would point me to which one is the professor we're looking for.
I mean,
Nothing
could we
happens.
could
It
we
was worth a
perhaps
shot.
it seems like nothing ventured, nothing gained. Could we simply ask them? The the other guests or the wait staff or something?
Should we talk to the gnome first?
Sure. I mean, he seems as good a choice as any.
Well, obviously he can't be as good a choice as any unless he is the choice.
Right. Uh,
Alice starts flying towards the table with the gnome.
the
All right.
Buttons was just trying to puzzle that through.
The gnome is sitting sipping a red tea that smells faintly of fruit and eating um, finger sandwiches that look to contain some sort of sweet jam.
Hey, are you a professor? I'm known as Kala.
Hello, Kala. Yes, I am Director Attenborough. How may I help you? Would you care to have a
Oh, oh,
seat?
oh, not yet. Um, are I'm not sure yet. We're supposed to find you.
Oh, well, that's quite fortuitous. I had just sat down to have a meal. Would you care to join me?
Um, no, because I'm expected back
Well, that's
through the portal.
understandable.
But unfortunately for the meal, you're expected back too.
Well, that's fine. I will just finish my meal and then I will head back. Would you care to join me?
Um,
Okay.
I don't think meals finish here.
Can I attempt insight on all of this?
Okay, sure.
7.
Something is off, but that pie
Okay.
looked really good.
The collar did warn Buttons. Uh,
Um,
Buttons is not as not.
Professor, hey, what's that shipment you were supposed to pick up?
Oh, I cannot remember for the life of me. It wasn't that important. Just some doddering old fools wanting to work on a project, I think. Would you care to join
You're
me?
supposed
The
to
food's
pick up
quite
people?
wonderful. I'm sorry? No, I was supposed to get some things, I think. I don't, it doesn't matter. Would you care to join me? The tea is quite lovely, and he takes a sip of the tea. The liquid does not recede any.
Well, you see, the thing is, while it's quite rude, you have to go back to work.
Okay, well, I'm going to finish my meal first, and then I can head back. Would you care to join me?
Professor,
Uh,
are you a polite man?
I would like to think so.
It's very rude not to stand and bow when you meet a lady of proper pedigree. Don't you agree?
I, I'm sorry, we have never met. Are you a lady of pedigree? Would you care to join me? And he kind of gestures to one of the chairs.
I'm going to
Oh,
slowly
there's my
lift
idea.
one of the finger sandwiches off the plate with the levitation.
Hmm.
And then, if I can, like, crumble it in the air.
Yeah, it's not super crumbly. It's not dry. It actually looks rather moist. After a couple seconds, a pixie flutters by and like kind of swoops up most of the crumbs and replaces the finger sandwich.
oh, I got this. Announcing the arrival of Lady Buttons. Please stand and bow for her arrival.
There is a cacophony of chairs gliding across cobblestone as every person stands and bows towards Buttons, and then
And she,
hmm?
oh, go ahead.
Oh, go
Thank you,
ahead.
Kala.
I was gonna say that she grabs the professor's hand and go, "You have been appointed her tour guide to go see the kitchens where all this is being prepared." It starts tugging him.
He kind of like make a strength check. After a few moments, like several of the people sit back down after they are not acknowledged.
Well, it's a good attempt.
He you kind of like tug and it's like, no, it's all right. I once ate at a chef's table. It was a honestly rather unenjoyable experience. All the yelling and stuff. Would you care to join me? And he settles himself back down in his seat.
Oh, actually, I actually wanted to move his chair
Oh, okay, then
and say, "Well, we have to have 3 chairs at the table now because we're playing musical chairs."
kind of like it's tea time, my dear, and you kind of move the chair away. After about maybe 4 minutes of just like back and forth, a fairy flutters over the hedge carrying a chair and sets it down next to the table.
I'm gonna drag it away and one to Kala. Start playing the flute.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that one? Sure. That one. I was going to use that for something, but that's okay. I will do that. And she does a performance with the bone flute.
All right, make a performance check for me, please.
Because she has performance and tool, does she have advantage on that?
Sure.
Are we using Xanathar's?
Yeah.
A 25.
25. As you start playing, describe the melody, or at least the intentional feel of it.
Um, she wants to make it sound like the after mill tavern dances where people get up and dance. So that is her intention with it, but also to be something more lively and foot tapping that people wouldn't sit down for.
Okay. As you start playing, a number of the people in the area turn their attention to you. What really seems to catch your attention, though, is the cloud of maybe 18 fairies and pixies that flutter up over the hedge and immediately start kind of swaying in the air and dancing along with your tune with each other.
Okay.
You notice that while this is going on, no one's plate of food is refilled.
Yep. Snatch.
Just going to start telekinetically moving everything. Is
Yeah.
that your
Yeah,
plan?
but Button's
Do I
gonna
need to make
hold.
like a sleight of hand for that, or
What are you like? What are you specifically getting?
I'm sort of hiding?
Can can Buttons assist with the bag of holding?
Sure.
Just like shovel
So
it in, shovel
Oh,
it in,
that
shovel
works
it in.
too. So I'm kind of very carefully like taking away like the food and drink plates, and I guess putting them into the bag of holding,
From all the tables or just one of the tables?
at least from the directors.
Okay. All right. Uh, make a sleight of hand roll for me.
Uh, with
That would
with
be
assistance.
a 23.
You do have assistance from being helped, but
Oh, okay.
so
Could be higher.
near the end of the
Nope.
song, Kala winks to Buttons and then puts her hand out to takes one hand off the flute like she's putting it out to the professor to ask him for a dance.
he's watching the fairies dance and he's not quite tapping his toes, but he is very much like entranced, it feels like.
Does he respond at all to her putting her hand out towards him?
No, he doesn't even notice it.
Oh, time to kidnap a professor.
The question is how much
Kidnapping.
Buttons understood from the wink and the handout.
Ah,
Hey, Buttons, we're kidnapping the professor. 1-to-1.
yes, I got that. Thank you very much.
Join hands.
Join hands.
Putting the flute away, having found the professor to retrieve, and him having supped graciously and gloriously, and after dinner entertainment been achieved, the group heads back so that he can finish his dealings with the shipment. And Kala takes a step
All
as she
right.
grabs his hand.
Make a athletics check for grapple.
Okay. This time I got an 18.
18. Okay. Oh, that's why it's not showing up. Sorry, I had a filter in place and I was like, why is this not showing up? Okay. So as you take a step, the cobblestone around you kind of dematerializes and you feel a warp and a weft of things. Um, you step out of that transitory space into the darkened woods that you've come to think of as a liminal space between other areas. the cobwebs hanging overhead. Your hand is wet.
But no professor.
The professor is gone. Standing next to you is a 3-foot tall giant frog. It looks like
Does it feel like the professor?
not really. But I do need
Wearing the
everyone to make a initiative roll as its mouth opens and a tongue shoots out at Kala.
Oh lord,
Okay.
it was too easy.
I got a 6.
22.
And we didn't long rest after our last battle.
No, y'all did not. All right, so that's a really low roll on him. Buttons, you are pretty badly injured still. Y'all thought y'all had the professor. Y'all step away, and a frog emerged with y'all instead of the gnome you had taken in hand. It ribbits and its tongue shoots out at Kala, but you act faster.
Would I be able to like physically interpose myself, or is there not like room for that?
Kala was right next to it. You would have to push Kala out of the way.
Okay. Heck with it. I'm just
How
going
big
to
is it?
firebolt it.
It is a good 3 feet tall.
That's quite a large frog. You know what? Actually, hang on. I am going to grab Kala if Kala doesn't resist, and rabbit hop away. Get some distance away from it.
You can only move half your distance with holding onto her, but I will allow it if she will.
What's rabbit hop is bonus action, jump 10 feet without provoking opportunity attacks.
Yes, but you're carrying extra weight, so you can jump 5 feet.
Well, still gets us out of immediate melee range.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's action to grapple her. And then bonus
Yeah.
action to do that. Okay. Yeah, that's all I can do in my turn.
All right, Kala, you are grabbed and Buttons leaps about 5 feet back with you. Bert, you're up.
Let's see. One second, sorry. It's been a while since I played this, so I need to remember all my stuff.
Cat scratch fever.
Okay, so I think my best option is to slash the rapier. $17 hit.
Yeah, 17 will definitely hit. It's a giant frog. It's not hard to hit.
That's 8 damage.
Alrighty. Unfortunately, you do not have an ally adjacent to it because Buttons grabbed Kala and jumped away.
Right, so I'm going to take my bonus action to hide.
Okay. Make your hide check, and how are you hiding?
18, I think behind the trunk.
Okay, you just kind of dart behind a tree trunk. You will have to move out of melee range to do that, though.
Sure.
Okay. It will make an attack of opportunity against Bert, then. Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
Alright.
Dang it.
That is 6 piercing damage as its tongue lashes out and it bites down on Bert. Bert, you are grappled. Until this grapple ends, you are restrained, and the frog can't bite another target. Okay. That was action, bonus action.
And I guess I can't move.
Yeah. Kala, you're up. Everything's happening very quickly. Buttons grabbed you, jumped back as the frog tried to bite you. Bert ran in to attack the frog, hit the frog hard, and then got bitten down on by himself, and the frog now has Bert in its mouth.
Kala puts away the flute and smirks. Did you hear the one about the frog at the tea party? And she casts hideous laughter. Everyone jumped at the occasion to tea there.
God damn it. Okay,
Well,
first question. Is there an intelligence requirement for it to understand you?
Let me see. Oh, yeah, I guess there is. It's 4 or less, so isn't
Okay.
affected.
Yeah, it has an intelligence of 2. You would know that that spell probably would not work on it if you want to do something else.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not going to steal your turn from you because Kala's smart enough to, like, oh, that's a giant frog. It's not going to get my joke.
Okay. Made up a joke just for it, but oh well, yeah, that would make sense.
She can still tell the joke.
So she's pretty sure it's not the professor, so let's go with Dissonant Whispers.
Okay. That is a wisdom save, right?
Yes. 15.
good spell.
That's a 2. So go ahead and roll damage.
See if I can get it to go. Okay, so it went in roll 29.
9? Alright. And it has to move as far away from you as possible, right?
Yes, it doesn't say anything about dragging people, which would affect its movement speed. So I don't know if it would let Bert go for that.
No, it won't let Bert go, but it will move away from Kala at a good 15 feet. Because that's as far as it can go while moving a conscious resisting target. Alright, Frog's turn then, unless Kala has anything else.
Didn't it go right before Kala?
No, it didn't make the attack. It started to make the attack, and then Buttons interceded.
Okay, so I thought it attacked Bert.
Yeah, it
and
made
then
an attack of
Kala.
opportunity.
Oh, because he moved.
Yeah.
Then. Okay. Never mind then. Yeah.
Alright, that's everything on Kala's turn then? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Alright. The frog will use Swallow against a smaller target it is grappling. Let's see. If the attack hits, the target is swallowed and the grapple ends. The swallowed target is blinded and restrained and has total cover against attacks and other effects outside the frog and takes 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of its turns. The frog can only have one swallowed target at a time. Okay. So make the attack roll. That is a 18.
That hits.
You're off camera, just to let you know.
That hits.
Yep. Okay. You take 3 piercing damage as the frog goes snap, snap, and Bert vanishes from the frog's mouth.
Changed what I was going to do.
Okay. Bert, you are blinded and restrained, but you have total cover against attacks. You don't take the acid damage yet because you didn't start your turn there, or it didn't start your. Bleh. It's already past the start of its turn. All right. It is going to. That was its action. It is going to use its full movement speed to start moving away from y'all. So it was 15 feet away, and now it is 45 feet away, as is fleeing from y'all. Buttons, you're up.
It is how far away?
It is 45. Actually, no, it'd be 50 feet away from you because you jumped 5 feet back.
Did it move that far exactly?
Hmm?
How did it move that far exactly?
Uh,
I think you did a double movement.
Well,
it,
Because it
colored
needed to go
spell,
50.
it got to use a reaction.
yeah.
Oh,
Actually, could it have done that
No, it
because
couldn't. You're right. Yeah, no, it would have been stuck there.
it had used its reaction to see?
To,
I had missed earlier that I thought that was its turn, not its attack of opportunity with Tux, so it didn't have the reaction to move for
so
that
yeah,
turn.
it would not have moved that 15 feet, so it would only be 35 feet from you.
Okay. Uh,
I really
So-
need to get a setup for this with maps.
distances, yeah. Only for the combats. Uh, give our friend back, you horrible thing.
Well, the thing is,
Buttons
I
is
have.
going to
It does matter. Continue.
Buttons is going to chase. Actually, she doesn't even need to, but she's going to chase, and she's going to firebolt.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack.
Right. 17.
17 will definitely hit.
So that will deal 10 fire damage.
10 fire damage. Bert, you're in a moist, uncomfortable, warm space, and then all of a sudden there is a splash, and you are sitting on the ground covered in hot tea. As Button's firebolt hits the frog, and its body just erupts in a downpour of what smells like red tea. And combat's over.
What happens to the frog?
The frog
It's just
bursts into tea.
nothing. This place is ever easy. How are you doing, Bert?
I could use a bath.
I think perhaps if we go back to get the professor again, we should rest before we do that.
Where?
And she just looks around her.
Right, here seems as good as any place else. Okay. Right, is the place at all like I don't
It's
know,
the middle of
defensible?
the woods with a draping of cobwebs overhead.
Maybe we shouldn't stay anywhere with the cobwebs.
Oh,
Let's not stay anywhere with the cobwebs. Nobody at the tea house appeared to be attempting to harm us. Could we simply take a rest there?
Um, maybe.
can't really go back though, right?
Mm.
That's not how that works.
I mean, don't we have to go back to get the professor?
We do. I don't think that whatever we got was the professor, and I worry that uh, whoever we speak with there might also claim to be the professor.
Probably.
But also, if we sleep there, what if we accidentally drink tea at night?
That is an excellent point.
Do you just want to set up like a watch?
We could go back to the tree with the hole in it. It's 2 over by the lake.
Is that how it works? I'm honestly not certain.
The lake might have water. Water seems like a good thing to have. If the
Sure,
lake's there. Sometimes it's not.
Okay, out of character. We know that we can't specify where we go, just that we want to be at a place where something happens, right? That's the rules as far as we understand it.
Fairly close to it, yes. There's more of a
So,
narrative element to it, but yeah, more or less.
yeah, like we can't just be like, and then we go to the lake with the hole, with the,
Right, so
like, that's not how it works. We
You
have
should
to,
probably have that in character as discussion, though,
okay.
because no one else can
so
answer or talk to you about it if you do it out of character.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I think that if we were, that in character, we would know that because
Yes.
we've tried it before and it did not work. I just think that out of character, it's been
Can we
so
please
much
have the
time.
conversation in character if we're
Okay.
going to have it? I do not like the fact that we can't say what we would say in character, which would be arguments and affect the logic.
Okay. I think that we keep trying to do that thing where we're trying to go to a specific place where we do the jumps, and so far that hasn't worked. We have to find. Oh, we need to try to jump towards a narrative action, and then we end up where we end up.
So you just tell the story about where you want to end up.
So, like, then we find a safe place to sleep.
Well, that might be taking it a bit far.
Might it? D- Would it? I don't know that it would. I don't know.
It seems inconsistent with the storyline we found so far. Kala sighs and holds out her hand. Well, if you, the tree is an okay place, let's give this a shot.
Okay.
Buttons?
Sure. All right, but yeah, Buttons will take her hand.
I found some information, but being tired and drenched, the group goes back to the closest thing they know to home and protection here in the Feywild to get some rest for the night, and grabs hands and steps forward.
All right. You take another step forward, and you are in a darkened wooded area. Cobwebs are draping overhead. It seems darker here than it did previously. The
And
moon
then
hangs
back,
low overhead.
and then the second one, which she thinks will take them to the tree.
Okay. And you enter a wooded space, dark overhead with stars glittering in the sky. The soft sound of water lapping at a shore issues from behind a large tree with a hollow in it. A number of floating little lights kind of wink out of existence almost immediately as y'all enter.
You are a very jaded storyteller. And she sits down and starts growing some more vines around the tree.
It's because I'm wet.
Let's help with that.
I like to be
And
wet.
Buttons will build a fire.
All right. So anything y'all doing in particular for before y'all bed down for the night?
Probably checking if the lake water is good for drinking
All right.
Oh,
and
yeah,
refilling
we
water
should also
skins and
probably
stuff.
set a watch.
Make a survival check for me real quick.
I'll go ahead and make one here also. 10.
10. Water tastes sweet, weirdly so, like someone poured a bunch of sugar in it.
Gross. Uh, it's at
Are
the
you
end of a
quite
long
certain
rest.
we've left? And with that, Kala goes back to doing the branches.
Kala seems fine though.
Okay. Buttons is going to uh, stick with her own water, I guess. Her own water skin.
All right.
She's not trusting the lake.
Keep in mind, it's been a couple days. Your water may be running a little low.
That is fair.
Considering
Uh,
two water skins a day
Yeah.
is normal
yeah.
ration.
But
But did you refill yours at the pool like Kala did?
I believe Buttons refilled theirs at the pool, and I believe Buttons also
So,
spent a couple hours as glass.
yeah, that too. Anyway, right. So, do we take watches? Oh,
sure.
right.
Okay.
I'll take first watch. At leave it to the two of you to work out who wants. Uh,
I'll take second.
Okay.
as
Who's
as
sleeping
somebody
in
who
the
has
hollow tree?
okay, I was gonna say, as somebody who's never had to actually uh set watches from your life, I don't know which is like the good watch to take, which is like the less pleasant watches to take.
Personally,
I
I
don't know.
hate middle watch. And I can speak from experience, wakings is up in the middle of the night is not a good idea.
Fair.
We should also take our break though in real
Yeah,
life.
we're going to take a break. Because it's 12, I need to refill my coffee because my coffee has turned into flavored water.
That's
Get some soup.
coffee.
No, it's flavored water. I just said my coffee has turned into flavored water.
Oh,
I finished my
It's been
tea
at a
on.
strange tea party too.
apparently.
So I'm going to mute us. We're going to go on break. Hey, everyone, we're going on break. Thanks for enjoying the show. There will be about a quarter second where it says we're on break, and then we'll be back.
Thanks to the magic of filmmaking.
I almost clicked the show over, but scene by accident. Unmute me, unmute y'all, and we are officially back. Hello, everyone. I hope y'all enjoyed that quarter-second break. I have to admit, I'm enjoying doing the recording over the live broadcast a bit, though I do kind of miss ignoring chat for focusing on. It's like honestly, I don't know. I miss having EQ.
Yeah.
EQ,
Should bring
if you're
EQ
watching
on as a
this, we appreciate you.
And our
That's
occasional guest stars like Cooper coming in and saying hi.
yeah.
well, we could. I mean, I would love to start doing like game streams or chat and chill streams. Those are fun,
I miss
and we
chat
can
and
have
chill.
people
I
show up in
really
those.
do. I'll do it around the table, see what people's schedules are like now that things are changing up a little bit. For Shroud of the Avatar, I would love to do like a four-person Shroud of the Avatar thing regularly. Elden Ring, even though they added multiplayer, apparently the multiplayer they've added is still like go here and beat up a guy. Okay, now your friend is kicked back to where they were.
Yeah.
Plus, it's not cross-platform, which is a little bit of
Anyway, welcome back to Briar Garden. Y'all were settling down to take a long rest, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, we did a lot today.
So with three of y'all would need to do a staggered 3-hour watch, I believe, to get everyone.
Yeah, that's generally
Okay.
how we've done it with 3 players before.
So first person up, make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yay. I do have proficiency. Let's see how it goes. But
13.
13.
Didn't want
It hovered on the 19.
You're
one of my glams turned off.
yeah, you're tired, but you stay awake. Make a perception check for me as you watch through the night.
Okay. 21.
Nothing particularly dangerous catches your eye, though something of interest does. What catches your eye that is interesting to you?
Wait, you asking me what catches my character's eye?
Yes.
Uh, I'm going to say clockwork raccoons.
Like a whole bevy of them scurry through the underside, followed by a large round creature with weird little wing contraptions strapped to its back. They don't seem to notice or interact with you in any way and quickly move off into their own narrative.
Okay. And Buttons will resist the urge to catch one and investigate its workings. It's probably not real anyway.
All right, who does the next watch?
I do.
All right, make a Constitution saving throw to stay awake,
Okay.
because y'all had a bit of a day.
15.
15. Yep, you're fine. Make a perception check.
15.
15. Uh, Nothing inherently dangerous seems to catch your attention, though something odd does catch your attention. What?
Uh, flittering little balls of light that kind of come in.
You do, as you are watching, you do notice those orbs of light that were here when you first arrived, flickering in and out in various tones. You do see one wearing a pirate hat kind of drift by towards the lake.
Technically, I would have been hidden, but I'll just.
Well, they don't
Uh,
see you.
yeah, just realized that I probably would hide for my watch, but no.
You're fine. All
Um,
right.
yep.
And then final watch. Let me make a percentile roll. Kala, you don't need to make a constitution save because one, you hadn't taken much damage, and two, you slept 6 hours. Make a perception check, though.
Okay. 3.
Kala's just kind of like float, float, float. Nothing catches your attention, though you hear a low and feel notice the trees shaking a little. You can't feel the ground shaking because you're floating.
So the
As
sound effects don't carry on mic. So you might have to describe them. Okay.
as a large lumbering creature kind of steps over ahead. No real noticing of y'all due to the small stature of your bodies compared to it, though it is massive in size, blocking out the moon overhead as it seems to be moving towards the astrolabe. But hey, nope. Y'all got 3 lucky rolls on the D100 to see if anything dangerous happened tonight. So you awaken in the morning with a long rest, although it is still
Yay!
dark, with a moon
Alright.
hanging low overhead.
Okay, so question for the both of you as we finish up the long rest. I could swap out my infusions. So I was thinking of changing dropping the thermal cube for now and changing it into an armor enhancement for somebody in the party. Either myself or, sorry, I'm not doing the character voice. Are either of you wearing armor?
Bert
I
strapped
have,
in
I
leather.
have, and she points at what looks like a university leather armor, but with no emblem on it. I have this.
Institute.
They said they weren't done with the emblem yet, so I could take this one.
Right. So yeah, do we want to drop that? Like to drop the thermal cube and swap it over to armor? For now, I can do it for one piece of armor.
I don't know. Sometimes it's cold.
Do you?
Isn't it cold where we have to leave?
It is.
And isn't it like really cold and then there's a lot of water?
That is what I wanted to use the thermal cube for it. For. I could also turn off the bag of holding. We're not carrying that much stuff.
Well, don't we have stuff in it that we don't know if it's dangerous?
Mostly the. Oh, right, all the magical items. Oh, shoot. Because I don't have them in my inventory.
Because you don't know what they
Uh,
are.
Because we don't know what they are. Hang on, can't you spend, like, time during a rest identifying items or something like that?
Yeah, if you tell the DM you're doing it.
Dang it. I forgot about that. Can so Buttons is going to stick with the infusions she has. Can she identify the wand? Uh,
Mm,
so the magical items were the wand, the harp, the medallion, and the flask.
we had finished the long rest. I will allow it this time, but going forward, you need to declare it before the end of the long rest. Uh,
Okay,
the wand is a +1 wand of the War Mage.
I will take that.
Oh,
That
are we
is
taking
nifty.
stuff?
Not recently.
Well, I
Can
mean,
I
it's
have the
the
thing with the strings? Can I have the other harp to go with my harp so they're not lonely?
right. We'll have to identify it next time we rest.
Why?
Uh,
So we know what it does and make sure that it's not dangerous to you.
and can tell whether it's cursed or not.
Yeah, it could be a harp of when you play it, it slices you in half.
Okay, but how's Buttons going to figure that out without playing it?
I think that's just a thing you can do.
No, it's fiddling with it. You
Yeah, you're
actively
actually
spend time
risking
using. Yeah,
the curse or whatever other effects when you do that. It's not identify spell.
and it
Fair.
doesn't tell you necessarily all the effects. It tells you the effects that you figure out from spending several hours fiddling with something.
Right. Okay.
So wouldn't
Well,
wouldn't Buttons just slice in half if it did that?
I would very much rather not slice in half. Look, it's.
They
Look,
are kind of like a cheese grater, like with all the lines. Like you could cut things with them, I
I,
suppose.
I would like to
yeah.
start thinking about that. Uh,
Look, I'm not trained in magic.
Well, if
I'm
we're
just saying
taking
as an
stuff,
example.
I want a stuff.
all right. I can hand over the harp. I don't know what it does. But Buttons will hand the harp over to Kala.
Okay, and she puts it in her chest of preservation.
It's a well-preserved harp,
And then she puts her harp in her chest of preservation.
so it doesn't get lonely.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
And then and then she ties the flute at her belt so she can get to it easy.
All right. Are we good to go? Are we going to make another attempt at finding the actual uh what's it called? The actual professor?
I mean, I suppose so. What else are we going to go there for? We're not supposed to drink or eat anything.
Do we need to go back there? Are we even sure the professor is there?
Well, we traded a bowl in a box for information that sounded like that place. So she seemed pretty sure. She seemed as sure as a bowl in a box that he was there.
I I don't know how sure that is. I'm not familiar with those units of
Oh, um,
surety.
she seemed electrum sure.
I'm still think we're being too literal about it, but
Do you know any place else with tea?
wait, so the first time we tried to find the professor, we went to a basilisk cave, right?
When you tried to circumvent the narrative, yes.
Right. So uh, as far as Button's instincts go, like does this feel like we're trying to circumvent the narrative again, or does this feel more like this is the trial is finding the real professor amongst the fakes. Like
Make an
we're
insight
doing
roll.
okay. We're doing what we were told. We're following the clue we were given. That is a 17.
It definitely feels like this is the right path to go down. It
Okay.
may be a garden path, but it definitely feels like it's the right path.
wish
I
it
mean,
were a
there's
garden
nothing that
path.
says he can't be in both places.
I think we should head back to that tea house, whatever it was, and perhaps ask some more questions before we take any action again.
Okay. I would also like to get more or dressed up before we go back. And Kala goes into the hollow of the tree and pulls some vines over the front of the door. Kala comes out wearing clothes costume.
It's just a pair of clothes that has costume written on the front of it, right?
Uh, no, it is brightly colored, almost jewel toned, like petal colors, with really dark purples and greens and a little bit of blues. That is basically for like markets and stuff when the place is busy. That she will use as merchant wear.
Pretty.
Gonna be honest, I don't really have black tie pouches.
You know, aren't they black?
Uh,
Aren't
mm,
they? Aren't they tied on with the harness?
Yeah.
Not
I don't really dress
quite
up, is what I'm saying.
right.
Oh. Here, try this. And she puts your hood down and she pokes your ears up. There you go. It's really rude to wear hats to parties unless everyone's wearing hats. And you shouldn't do it when you're sitting down and eating unless everyone is. But it's outdoors, so it's probably okay.
Okay.
This close to
Formal.
Bert, you notice a slight gold sheen to the end of some of his fur.
Oh, you're already dressed up. And she points at the sheen.
I probably can't see what she's pointing at.
Not really.
I mean,
I mean,
well,
I didn't think the phrase was gold tie, but it's very festive for Bert.
it is. Uh, but are you feeling quite all right?
Uh,
Oh,
I, I guess. I mean, I got some sleep. That was good. But I was also eaten and drenched in red tea. So maybe I'll call it a wash.
yeah. Let's find the actual professor as soon as we can and get out of here as soon as we are able.
Also,
I,
Rin, like, is no more, and that's kind of upsetting, but I guess we're just moving on
Yes.
from that.
didn't he go find a friend?
Just, I don't want to dwell on that.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, we gotta dress up
Um,
Buttons. Buttons is pretty dressed up already.
yeah, but
yeah.
Buttons is wearing fine gear, like fine clothing, which she has been keeping from getting all messed up with the rigors of travel with ap- um, judicious use of the mending spell.
Not how mending works, but okay.
Well, it won't keep it clean, but it keeps any rips or tears from.
Okay, yes.
She
Uh,
doesn't know prestidigitation yet.
Kala, Kala picks a blue rose flower and puts it in Button's lapel. There we go. We're all dressed up. Now we can go to the party.
If this was if we weren't where we were, I would say it would also serve as a nice snack.
So, who's leading us this time?
Right, I'll lead the way, and she's gonna hold out both hands. Right. So our heroes, after a bit of sleep and chance to recuperate, take a second crack at the puzzle that stumped them the day previously. And grab onto the O2 and step forward.
All right. You take a step forward and you materialize into the hedge garden party again. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I'm going to remember that I have an ability that can help with that this time.
21.
13.
8. Jeebus.
Buttons, you know what is about to happen as you go through. Like, oh, wait, the cart! And push! Flip over onto your back. Immediately, 16 tables worth of people turn to look at you.
I'll get the hang of that eventually. Right. I suggest stand up, dust yourself off, go to the closest table.
There,
Pardon the interruption.
a two bugbears, a half elf, and a ba ba ba. Eladrin, that's the word. Eladrin, look up at you as you approach the table.
Right. You may call me the Lady Buttons. Might I have something of which to call each of you?
All four of them respond simultaneously. No, we are Dr. Attenborough. Or I am Dr. Attenborough.
Indeed you are. And she's going to just repeat the process with each table and just walk from one table to the next.
Same thing.
Introduce herself.
As y'all
Right.
y'all notice several pixies and fairies come and start picking up the serving cart they had gotten bumped over.
I hate the Feywild. I really, truly do.
Kala goes over and helps him pick some stuff up and says, Say, aside from us, which person was rude enough to show up last?
The Are you talking to one of the pixies or one of the fairies?
We'll go with one of the pixies.
Right, they kind of open their mouth and start, and you hear nothing come out as they are moving their mouth like they're talking.
Does it look like the motions of Sylvan?
Yeah.
Can she take a crack at trying to figure it out since she knows Sylvan?
Make an intelligence check.
13.
You are not the best at reading lips, but it seems along the lines of, would you like a seat?
Oh, I'm afraid we'll be going soon, so I don't want to put you to that much trouble. And she decides to float over to the, I believe, hobgoblin.
Okay. The hobgoblin looks up and is like, oh, you are not one of the servers. Hello, my name is Director Attenborough. Would you care for a seat? And he gestures to his chair.
I don't see any of them sitting down.
Who?
Oh,
I'll take a seat, and then I lift up the chair, and then just put it in a corner, and I come back.
Like, almost after a few moments, a pair of pixies, like, straining under the weight of it due to their being tiny and it being for a medium, carry a chair over the hedge and start directing it towards the
Okay, 1-to-1 to
table.
Kala. Follow them back.
Right.
as she can respond, I'm talking to one of the candidates.
Follow the pixies back. See where
No,
they're
if I
coming
do
from.
that, I might get hired.
Subterfuge! Like, that's the point.
But I don't want to get hired.
We need to figure out where this is coming from.
But we don't know what their vacation policy is if I want to leave.
Right. I'll follow then.
Just claim the manager got you pregnant.
What? What?
Wow.
What?
Welcome to
What? It's a
2021.
classic scam. Classic scam. I can't do
I
it, but you know.
Bert's gonna have a kitten. Wow. That was horrible for a second. Thank you, Bert.
Hey, it's completely a character
No,
for
it's
him.
fine. You're fine. Uh, the pixies deliver the chair and flutter off. The hobgoblin looks up at Cal and is like, would you care for a seat? And he gestures.
I was more wondering where your guards had gotten off to. Shouldn't they be sitting with you?
Oh, I am not sure. I'm sure they're around somewhere.
So she goes over to the half elf.
Mm-hmm. He looks up and says, hello, I am Director Attenborough. You do not work here. Would you care to have a seat? And he gestures to one of the open chairs.
No, I was actually just worried about why your guards weren't here.
Oh, I'm sure they're around here somewhere. They probably got distracted.
Did either of them have any like expression of upset when
No,
she mentioned the guards?
just
Okay.
mildly like, oh, where are they?
Right.
You see the half elf take a bite of a toast point with green jelly on the top of it, and you have a slight scent of mint.
Right. So Buttons is going to stroll up to uh one of the Attenboroughs. Say, pardon, what happens when tea time is over?
Which one are you going up to, or does
Uh, shoot, there's a hobgoblin. There's
Are you going to the two Kala approached or someone else?
someone else, I think,
all right?
to not
I'll
interfere with Kala.
um a bugbear looks at myself. I'm not sure. I just got here myself. Oh, pleasure to meet you. I am Director Attenborough. Would you care to have a seat? And he gestures to the seat across the way from him.
What happens if I take a seat?
I, you get tea and drink. It's a lunch. It's like the bugbear gestures to the plate of macaroons and the honey yellow tea in front of them.
Right. I don't want to take a seat. I don't want to follow the fairies. Anything that I do is probably going to wind up with me turned into something or mind controlled into something or something even worse that I can't even think of at the moment. But thank you for your time.
Uh, a
I
pleasure.
don't suppose if
Go ahead.
I don't suppose if I asked, could you tell me which of the other diners here is the most recent one to join you?
I'm not sure. I just got here myself. Would you care to have a seat?
Not at the
Go up to one of them,
One of
the guests.
you will. There's 14 times 4, 40, 36, or sorry, 56 odd guests here.
Okay. Okay, actually a few questions. First of all, are they the same guests, relatively speaking, as when we came here before?
Uh, they look like them. You didn't really interact with most of them.
Is there a gnome that's
No, you do
sitting by
not see a
himself?
gne. There is an empty table now.
Well, I guess that's one way of doing it. um, So, okay, I'm gonna go up to one of, uh, I guess one of the bugbears that Kala was talking to.
Mm,
Akala didn't talk to bugbears. Kala talked to, of the three people that were still at solitary tables, she talked to the two which had slightly pointed ears, which is the hobgoblin and the elf.
To the one she just talked to, I guess,
the
was
half
over
The
elf?
on
elf.
Okay. He's
the elf.
eating mint jelly on toast points and drinking green tea.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Director Attenborough. Would you care to have a seat, my good fellow?
What's your favorite color?
Uh, I'm quite partial to red.
Gonna go to the next one. Hello.
The hobgoblins. Hello, young sir. Would you care to have a seat? He gestures to the chair.
What's your favorite color?
Uh, I like blue.
Gonna go to the next, back to the elf. Hello.
Yes, hello. Would you care to have a seat, young sir?
What's your favorite food?
I mean, this is quite good. Would you like some?
Yes, but what's your favorite?
Uh, mint? Uh, chocolate mint, I suppose.
Gonna go to the hobgoblin. So what's your favorite food?
The hobgoblin, like, oh, hello, young sir. Would you care to have a seat? I'm quite fond of blueberry.
So I'm gonna come back. They're inconsistent.
Of course, they're different people, silly.
They're inconsistent because we don't know. We know that he had guards, so they're always gonna reply consistently with that. We
No,
know that
but
he was
we
that
knew
he
about the guards, the thing, and they knew about the guards, the thing, and they didn't talk about the guards, the thing.
right, but they gave consistent answers, right? When you asked about the
Inconsistently well.
guards. But they're not giving consistent answers about what their favorite color is. Because we don't know what Director Attenborough's favorite color is.
Kala
I
shrugs
think
and says, okay.
I think I take your meaning. Uh, so, what do we know that could distinguish the proper professor?
Well, that's a glitch.
Well, you still there? Hi, welcome
Uh,
back.
are
I,
you not able to see or hear me?
We can now.
Yeah,
uh,
we can, but you went into a
oh, I glitched
weird
too. Yeah,
90s JRPG battle
that's
transition.
right.
Very
It's
weird.
not
Yeah, I think my
inaccurate.
connection hiccuped.
You're fine.
I just had a screen artifact too right after that, so it
Yeah,
might be partially the platform.
You
internet is
said, I
weird.
think I know what you mean, Bert, and then everything went to JRPG combat
Right.
mode.
So we don't know that much about the professor, which would allow us to correctly identify him.
Right, but we
Uh,
could ask these questions, write down the answers, go back, ask the real answer of the thing, and then we narrow down who it is.
we can. Uh,
If they can open the portal again.
if they can open the
If they
Easily.
portal again,
can't
and we don't.
open the portal again, that just throws a lot. That's not a possibility I want to entertain.
I mean, they're opening it at intervals and stuff, and if like they're like, oh, they're back, and then they just shut things down. So, where did your team find this? And she holds up the flute to the elf.
The elf is like, um, I don't know. Um, Is that from... I don't own a flute like that.
Oh no, your team does.
He blinks slowly at you and takes another bite of like his mint jelly. I'm sorry, I don't recall. Would you care to have a seat, young man? Well, ma'am.
Oh no, it's fine. I need to go ask Dr. Attenborough where his team found this. And she
Okay.
goes over to go talk to the hobgoblin.
All right. The hobgoblin takes a bite of like the cream cookie and takes a sip of his tea for you as you come. Yes. Would you care to have a seat, young ma'am?
Oh, since we were using it for entertainment, I was wondering where did your team find this artifact?
Oh, I don't believe my team found that artifact. If it's from the young lady that works with me, she brought it from her home, I believe.
Good enough. She'd like you to come back right now. I
Uh,
know it's a bit rude, but she's acting director right now, and she's really asked for you to come back.
um, I mean, I just got here. Would you care to have a seat? We can have a
She
meal
picks up
first.
the tray and she puts the snacks and tea on it and says, I'm afraid we have to have it to go, but that means you can share when you get there.
Kind of like, very well. I should see what my guards have gotten up to. Do you
Here,
know
take my
Senande?
hand and I'll hold the tray.
One more time.
She says, Here, take my hand and I'll hold the tray.
He carefully takes her hand.
I just levitate the tray.
Are you grabbing a
I'll
hand?
take.
Yes.
Yep, I will take Bert's
Okay.
harness.
Yeah.
Having found the professor and resuming the work with the artifacts, the team heads back to their local base of the tree near where the shipment work is. And she takes a step
All right, you step into a dark forest overhung with cobwebs.
and another step as quick as she can.
You arrive in a midnight dark forest with a softly lapping sound of a pool behind you and a hollow tree in front of you. Several blinking lights wink out of existence as y'all approach. The hobgoblin looks over his side. So you do know Sinande?
Um, we found some maybe bad news about the guards along the way. They might have gotten in a scuffle, but was Sanande the name of the person? I didn't remember that name.
Y'all didn't get given the name.
Oh, of the head. Okay, he means the head. Oh, do you mean the lady with the flowing hair?
Yes, Sinande. She watches over this area.
She seemed concerned about a shipment and then maybe about your guards not being here because they might have gotten eaten by spider things. And the director person back at the temporary director back at the university really would like you to come back home
I mean, I've
or to
only been
work.
gone a few hours.
Well,
Agnes is quite capable of handling things in my absence.
well,
It has
time
been.
is odd.
Yes, quite.
I mean, we've been here a couple days to go look for you.
Mm, okay, well, we will deal with that shortly. And you said you found my guards devoured. That's quite alarming.
But we
Slightly
found
devoured, yes.
we found a scene with the battle and some explosion and um two guards' bodies. I think that's them. They had university stuff, but it could have been other older guards. I don't really know that much about the particular guards, but I believe it was a male and a female.
Huh. I mean, it certainly sounds like my guards. That's quite distressing. Here, let us go and I will barter with Sunande to return us to the material plane.
Oh, don't we just go back to the portal at the thing and wait for it to open?
No, that is only the one-way gate. Our interactions with Sunande have been our means of returning. That is why
They
we.
said they were going to open it every 12 hours at the university island.
I mean, yes, you can send things through every 12 to 24 hours, but it is um it is like pushing something through one end of a funnel.
Are you sure they didn't fix it since then? She seemed quite sure that we could go back through there if we showed back up.
I'm not 100% certain, but unless I have been gone far longer than I thought, no, it is generally used one way. We definitely could send supplies through, which would be useful for transitioning. But I mean, and he reaches into his robes and pulls out a kind of long, thin pine box with the Sinan Institute logo branded into it. I have the offering to Sanande to cross us back over.
Insight.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
I was actually going to say Kala would probably like to do insight, but on the woman who sent them over.
Sure thing. Go ahead.
22. On
22. He seems pretty serious about, like, this is how we go back.
Nat 20 plus 30 for 23 for Kala on the woman who sent them over.
She
I'll roll for
is
buttons.
very much young, inexperienced, and probably is not fully aware of all the intricacies of this travel if she has never made the trip herself, which she
Okay.
has told y'all she's never done this before.
Okay. Should we take you to go see the guards, or is that not?
I mean, I am not equipped for anything resembling a rescue mission. If you feel you are capable of rescuing them, then that is fine by me. But I think the safest thing for us to do would be to return to the Institute and contract an adventuring group to come out here and locate them or retreat or rescue them if at all possible.
I think
that
they might be.
seems exactly correct, sir.
I
Let's
think they
do
might be
that.
pretty dead. So probably that sounds like a good plan.
All
And
right,
then
well,
to Kala, another job lined up for us.
he like, well, if you'll pardon me, and he kind of like puts the package back up into his sleeve. It's like, you seem to have become quite deft at navigating the narrative. Uh, if I do not know why you're doing the hand holding thing, but anyway, this way, and he kind of takes 2 steps and vanishes.
To the
Okay.
hut which we need as a way to get home. It Kala grabs both people and takes a step forward.
Attenborough, as you step out into the edge of the clearing, Attenborough is standing at the outer edge next to y'all, watching the house. It's like, she generally will emerge from the woods after about 10 to 20 seconds. And after about 20 seconds, you see a willowy woman with floating hair in a daphnis gown walking out of the woods with a basket floating behind her on a glowing disc. And I was like, if you'll allow me, and he steps forward and is like, oh, we lost
Oh,
someone. Meryl, are you there?
and not on WebEx. I'm gonna actually take a couple minutes. Can we just put it on break?
Yeah, I was
I'll
trying to
be
get
right
it
back.
out back because I'm going to be introducing people, but okay. Be right
Yeah.
back. Visual, audio, we are back one more time. I am so glad we're recording this. Hello, everyone. We're playing the bonus roll D&D. Attenborough's like, excuse me, Sunanda. And she like, oh, director. It seems, our fair friends here have managed to locate you. It took them quite a winding trail, but I hope that they enjoyed the story a little. And it's like, I'm sure they did, my dear. If you could be so kind as to help us return to our plane, I would like to return to the material plane on the continent, on the world of Audra, the continent of Eltgrid, in the area that I originated from at the time that I originated from. It's like, farewell. Do you have the toll? He's like, The total for 4 people, me and these fine fellows, as he pulls out the wooden case and holds it forward. It's like, well, very well. It was a pleasure to meet you all. Uh, Perhaps you will stay for a little bit longer next time. And she grins at Bert. Take care, Fragile Heart. And she makes a gesture as a kind of warp and weft in reality splits, and a shimmering kind of silvery white portal forms in front of y'all. Attenborough looks. Well, if you will accompany me, she will not hold it open indefinitely, and he just goes for it.
Yep.
Flying leap.
Run, run.
All right, everyone, make a dexterity save. No, I'm kidding. You emerge from the portal in the center of a flower-ringed garden at the outskirts of Port Glassbreaker. A silver statue looks down at you from above, water pouring from the upturned shield of Ranike, the Silver Warrior. He's like, yes, she is quite fond of this place. It makes sense she would drop us here, though not what I requested. Well, I am sure my assistant was very fraught to send people after me. Um, how long have I been gone? Actually, real
There
quick,
was
I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw.
Hey, I can still do that. Well,
13.
fine.
12.
6.
All right, let me check the planar guide.
Interesting that I can do rolls while I'm offline.
Huh.
And I'm going to
Still
go ahead
aren't
and use
going
up my
to.
inspiration for a reroll because I feel like this is going to be an important one.
All right.
So that upgrades it to 15.
Did anyone roll less than a 10?
All right.
I rolled a 6.
Okay. Buttons, you have no memory of any of the events that have happened on your extraplanar excursion. You remember stepping into a green portal and then stepping out into this garden.
That's honestly probably for the best.
Right. Is there like a sense of discontinuity?
No, it just
Like,
feels like you stepped through the green portal and stepped out into the garden.
We
Right.
made it back, Buttons.
Well
right.
done, Buttons.
What? Don't we have to go find the professor?
Here he
Right here.
is.
Oh,
Hello, young miss. It's a pleasure to meet you. I believe she said your name was Fragile Heart?
that is not my name. No,
Huh. Odd.
I don't think I quite like the sound of it. The Lady Buttons on Abergarden at your service.
Director Attenborough of the Silent Institute, formerly of the... Hold on, how do I pronounce that place again? Of the Molpar Tundra.
Right. I appear to have suffered a slight loss of all memory. How long were we gone
We'll
precisely?
tell you after drinks.
I'm not sure.
Well, it appears to be about midday now, so...
Probably at least 2 days.
That is 2 days from when you left.
Yes.
If you'll excuse me, I have several experiments that I need to tend to, and he pulls out a piece of chalk and makes a gesture as it kind of spins through the air, trailing.
Are you going to the school?
Yes, to my lab.
Oh. Do we need to go to the school for anything?
Do we know where we are?
Yeah, you
Oh, yeah,
are
this
in
is
the.
where I sleep sometimes when I'm not sleeping at the house.
Oh,
But then I got a house that I stayed at.
You are in the Wild Rose Park at the Queen's Fountain.
okay.
Well, I guess if you check in with her and let her know that the 3 of us are back, then I guess we wouldn't have to go over to the school.
Certainly, I will be happy to do so, my dear. If you'll excuse, and he steps into the chalk ring that he had drawn into the air and vanishes with a pop.
Bert's gonna sigh. Magic is so cool.
It is, I suppose. What? What exactly?
Buttons, your chest feels funny.
Hmm. Uh, she's going to check
You have a
and notice the
white
white
patch,
patch of
yeah,
fur.
that was not there
Did
previously.
did I get a dye job?
Uh, no.
Why would I have dyed my?
You saw something crazy and it turned that patch of fur white.
Also,
Uh,
Story.
we should probably see
I'm
if our
almost certain
hay
that it's not
in the
what left.
sack is cursed or not. I think we were going to do that, and I think you were going to give Bert the medallion because you have a magic wand now.
You do have a magic
I
wand that
do?
you do not recognize.
Right.
So let's go see if we can have lunch at the boarding house.
Drinks.
Where do I have? Where's this medallion?
And your
Oh,
bag of
in the
holding.
magic bag you have.
Uh, my magic. I
Yeah,
don't think
the
I
magic
quite.
bag.
Uh,
It's got our gold that we need to split up and Bert's medallion. And here, and she starts pulling you towards the boarding house. I feel like you could really use a warm tea.
For the record,
I believe I could.
having rescued Professor, I keep on wanting to say Abernathy, and that's not it. I have too many A
Edinburgh.
names. For having rescued
Attenborough.
Professor Attenborough, y'all get 125 XP.
Yay! Important question. Does Buttons lose the level that she gained, like
No.
with lose? Okay, so she knows how to make a bag of holding. She just
Yes.
doesn't know how she knows it.
Yes.
You said 125.
Yep. And I will put that in the wiki later. I just didn't want to forget to
I
tell y'all.
Damn it! I can't actually add it because I'm still offline.
I
Uh,
believe that puts us to level 3 is the point.
Mhm.
it should. All right.
Button must have missed something then. Okay.
There's a whole channel where our XP is logged, so you can look at the recent total there.
Okay.
And then Giernos will kind of probably be deciding what to bring the new group in at.
I'm going to have to decide next time what subclass to take, which is probably going to rely, at least in part, on what classes the new people take.
Kala is
Um,
dragging everyone towards the halflings place.
Okay. You're the lady they're renting the house from. Okay.
Mhm.
What would she be doing? It's been 3 days.
Oh, no.
Hmm?
Keep going. I made a math error.
Oh, okay. Uh, Bree Tea Leaf is sweeping outside the house. There is a new fairy sign that is hanging off of the side of her building, and a sign underneath it that reads "Fairy Good Baked Goods." It's like, oh, y'all back! Oh, thank goodness! I was worried about you. I haven't seen you for days on end, my dear. Come in, please. I have some. Do you mind if you could you do me a slight favor and give these? And she starts handing you eggs. It's like, just hold these for a few moments, please.
Sure. Can my friend stay for lunch? I
Uh,
don't usually have people over, but think I have coworkers now.
uh, Most certainly,
So,
yes. I was just going to have some tea and a maybe some toast points and jam. Is that okay?
got any booze?
Um, yes.
Can I have some?
I would adore a cup of tea and something perhaps a little strong to put into it.
Well, okay. And she kind of like she just hands Kala a basket of eggs. Very touched. Anyway, excuse me, this way. And she opens the door to her
And she
house.
touches a couple of them. Am I supposed to be touching them?
Yes, please, thank you. And
Okay.
she leads y'all into it's a small little main room with a pair of adjacent bedrooms. There is a brick oven on one side that has a fire going in the stove part, with a
Look
griddle
good, a bed
placed
for
over.
me.
Hmm?
I said good, a bed for me.
A number of a small table, like halfling sized small table, with four chairs around it, and a number of baked goods just kind of sitting in various places, cooling. You notice several of them have like puff pastry cut out in the shape of a fairy, pressed onto the top of it.
The school sent me to go get a professor from a tea party, and I saw pixies that couldn't speak out loud while I was there.
Hmm, that is fascinating. And she gives all of y'all a honey tea, with apple jam on toast points, and she sets out a bottle of honeyed whiskey for anyone who wants something stronger.
Is my room still open?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. In fact, went through and cleaned it up and made sure it was all nice and orderly for you. And yes, and I filled it with flowers. If you want to, like, maybe lightly dust the flowers or something like that, I will be happy to get them out of the room for you later.
Okay. And Kala just shrugs.
She kind of like
Okay.
rubs her hands a little
Oh,
bit and
oh,
goes back to her
I
baking.
do have to go back to the school later. I still have their flute. It's a loan.
I don't know what that means, but okay, my dear. Uh, Certainly, yes. She's like trying to think for a moment, her eyes darting around the room as she looks at various implements. You notice that everything that is iron has been removed and replaced with polished wood at this point, with the exception of like the cooking utensils and necessary gear that she cannot replace with wood.
Oh, I got you a gift.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate it
And
100%.
she gets out one of the elf flower seedlings.
She Oh, the elf mint.
Yeah,
Is that-
I forget. It was from the Feywild where fairies come from. So I thought maybe if you wanted to put it in a little like table
Her
pot or something.
face just lights. I'm going to plant this right outside. What is it?
I think they said elf mint.
It was growing as an ivy-like trellis.
Yeah, you prop it up on things and it grows along it. So like those old cottages that are covered in plants, it'll look like that if you leave it a really long time.
I will go and plant this right next to some of the support beams, and she just runs outside.
You have an odd effect on people.
I do?
Apparently.
I don't know if odd is. I
This is
suppose
like the best
odd
place
is
to
a
stay in
little
town
bit.
if y'all are between places because you've been gone a few days.
It has a fire, so I'm good.
I mean, it's a fire in an oven. It's not like an open fireplace.
It's
You'd
heat.
have to check if there's rooms, but if you don't have accommodations, this is a very good place. And it makes being coworkers really easy because then I can find you.
Does she have
Because
a
I know
rodent
where you lived
problem?
before. Huh?
Does she have a rodent problem?
I wouldn't think so.
Then I probably need to ask for food.
We can help with that.
Usually it's
I
in
think
with the room rates. I don't know. Uh, I pay a couple silver and then I do some work in the garden, but I don't really know what the normal rate is.
I mean, I could help with garden work, I guess.
It is fairly obvious that to most of y'all, that she has been converting her living room, her house, into a bakery of sorts.
I mean,
I mean, I'm really good at hanging up things in high places with the whole telekinetic abilities.
Oh,
That's definitely a strength I have.
you could probably check if there's some rooms if you don't have a place right now. You didn't look like you had a place you were heading to, so I just took you to a place that has places sometimes.
Of note,
Basically, if it's not a jail, I'm good.
of note, Buttons, you still need to
Yep.
inspect the storm cloud.
I still need to what?
Inspect the storm cloud. Your aunt's the ship that your aunt commissioned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we need to
You know
do
what?
that together.
That promises to be nice and normal, and hopefully without anything Fey related.
Okay, remember,
I
What does?
pray.
I'll help you do the talking, and don't ask questions.
Oh,
Oh yes, thank you, Bert.
where are you
Tom,
going?
I was originally in town to carry out a favor for a family member. My aunt has does she own the ship or is she like a shareholder in it?
She owns it.
Okay. My aunt who was one of the people who got me onto the path that I'm walking today needs me to inspect a ship for her. It is the Storm Cloud, and I believe it is in the harbor. We just got slightly sidetracked from it. I think sidetracked is the best way to put it.
I do need to go fly across the harbor and give him the flute back.
You don't
Are
need to give
those,
it back.
no, she said it was loan.
Are you paying interest on it?
We do need to get the reward for the task we performed, even if I
We
don't
got
remember
paid.
performing it.
I mean,
Did we
Oh,
get paid?
it's like
she
it's like
paid us before we left, and she and Kala pulls out a piece of paper and flaps
I,
it around.
I could have sworn one of the rewards was going to be uh, something that wasn't going to be ready until after we got back, like access to
That
yeah, that
library
was
access,
me.
yes.
Maybe we
not that
could
right now.
maybe we could all go over and y'all could check in on the job and I could give her back the flute later.
Later.
I kind
I
of
think
feel like y'all just need maybe some tea and sitting in a garden for a little bit.
yes, and then let's
And,
check
and,
the
and,
ship.
and maybe finding some lodgings so that you know where you're going back to. So I know where you're going back to because are we working together? We haven't even divided up our pay, so I guess we're still working together.
We're still working together.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know about the two of you, but I think we make fairly effective team. Slightly unorthodox, but we got the job
She
done,
she can fly.
presumably.
Oh, you should get Bert his medallion.
Ah, yes. So yeah, she'll dig through the thing and get out the medallion.
Okay. It is a kind of gold and silver medallion with like the etching of a person's head leaning forward, so you see mostly just the crown and the brow.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like Buttons is just like, oh, I'm not broke after opening the bag.
yeah. Well, that's technically speaking. I don't think you can't just look in a bag and see what's in there.
Nope, you
You
have to
have to.
reach in.
And she doesn't know what's in there. So, what she's probably going to do at the next long rest is
Turn the
turn
bag.
off the bag of holding invocation, which would dump all the items in it outside of it, so she knows what was in there.
You can
Mechanically, you can just do that at any point.
Yeah, you can just turn it inside out, and that'll dump everything out.
Oh, okay. So she'll do that when she's at when we're at a good time for that. Which I mean, so we're effectively in a
We're in someone's house,
You're in
and
a
that's not a
halfling's
good.
cottage.
It's
okay.
not a good place to dump
Sorry,
up
I meant to say
out
we're
all
effectively
of our crap.
I mean, there's
right.
worse place to literally
Make
dump out
that
your
narrow
purse.
because to both y'all were talking. Can you say that again?
Mel, can you say that again, please?
Oh, what I was trying to say. We're effectively in a short rest.
I said pretty much. That sounds about right.
Right. So in that case, I would like to attune to the wand.
All right, go ahead. Make a Constitution saving throw. No, I'm kidding.
Hmm. 'Cause yeah. Uh, just to simplify things. Yeah, I mean, if you know lodging, my choice of lodging earlier was
Expensive.
perhaps not
Expensive.
the most economical that I could have chosen. Uh, I yes, I would like to find some new lodgings that fit my purse, hopefully.
Oh, good. You did have lodging. I was worried because I ran into people that didn't have lodging too.
I I did. I just was well, to put it in indelicately, I was broke.
Oh,
Uh,
20
I've
but now
never.
you have papers and stuff, right?
Suppose I do.
You should have had one of these too. And she waves around the paper that's like a promissory note for 500 gold.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh, that. Oh, yeah. So yes, I do indeed have one of those, but I can't exactly spend it.
Oh,
Um,
it's like 5 years
that,
of houses.
that is
Hey,
true.
Is it? Yeah.
I think Buttons has a very different concept of a house than you do.
Oh, 5 years of rooms? 5 years of rooms. I like rooms because, then you go in one and there's a bed and then you put stuff away and then you get back up and then you go do stuff.
Oh, it's the grandmother, not the aunt. Sorry. That owns the
Oh,
Snowclad.
I misremember that as well. Uh, all
Not
right.
that big.
But you could check if she has more spots here. I know she used to keep more. She used to have more people stay. I don't know if she does now. She should be back from gardening in a bit. She doesn't garden all day like I do.
Like, she comes back in about maybe 10 minutes later, just smudged in dirt. She did not have any tools, so her hands are just covered in dirt. She literally just dug up the ground, you think, and put the seeds in and then watered them.
Uh,
Hmm.
okay. Does she seem like okay, so to speak?
Oh,
She seems very enthusiastic about Kala's presence.
It seems my friends recently were changing lodgings. This was a place that had lodgings, I think. Are there any lodgings?
I mean, there's the my room, and she points at her room, and there's the room that you've been staying in. She points at the other room, and then there's this room, and she kind of gestures around.
Oh, maybe they'll have to find another place. Where would you suggest?
Uh, I mean, if you don't mind dealing with the sailors and stuff, there is the flop house. I think it's the Saffron Seahorse. No, the Saffron Seashore
Um,
House. That's it. Yes, I know many of the sailors stayed there while they're waiting for their next trip out.
a
I'm pretty
flop house?
sure Buttons is a lady, so she's not supposed to stay around a lot of guys. I remember that.
I
Quite, Kala. Quite
uh,
right, quite right.
see. I mean, we're a pretty small town. Let's see, the institute may have a bunk. I could ask around and see if any of my friends have a free room. The Feather Touch bathhouse definitely, I mean, would not hurt to see if they will let you uh, crash somewhere there, I guess. But
Well, if
Perhaps
you
I
have
can.
any friends with the room for tonight,
oh,
that
they can stay here
a
tonight.
lady.
That's fine. Yes, no, I'm fine.
Oh,
That's quite fine with me.
we can always look for them for something tomorrow. I think it is early, I think, but it's also been really busy, and then we have to go see some people and do busy stuff. So, but we could look for a good place for them tomorrow, I think.
I mean, that's perfectly fine with me. I have no problem with that. Just as per the rules, to keep them out of my room. Um,
Ah,
you have free use of your room. You have free use of here. I will try to keep the bakery goods to a low flood, I guess.
I think Buttons can stay in my room.
thank you kindly, Kala. Before we go anywhere else, perhaps on the way to the the storm cloud.
If it's
I
in
don't suppose
dock.
any of you know that is at the dock. Yes, I don't
If
suppose.
it's in dock. It was out on adventure. We
Yep.
can't go to the ship if it's out.
Oh, if it's a, oh dear.
We could go to the academy and check on the things and also check if there's a room if you wanted to. Though they ask a lot of questions and bring you books and then they kind of just ignore you. I don't know. It's not a very it's not social.
What were you going to say, Buttons? You kind of got talked over once or twice.
uh,
I don't suppose
trying to
any
remember
of
what I was about
you.
to say. Would know where I might be able to find.
One sec, we have a visitor.
Okay.
Uh, I I was feeling a little. Actually, damn it. No, never mind. Cancel that because she does not remember feeling exposed without a shield. But I still want. She still wants to buy a shield.
Okay.
You should buy a shield.
She can't say exactly why. I'm feeling a little underprepared, I suppose.
You should get a shield.
All
Right.
right.
Do anyone know where would be good for that?
So we're going to go ahead and call it at this point because the person who's going to help me do some moving of furniture and stuff is here. Meryl, do you want to say the line?
All right, folks. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And please always make like a polite werewolf. Like and subscribe.
Bye. Oh, wait, hold on. Waiting for it. Waiting for it. She has the headset on. Okay, Hen, we're calling it.
Bye.
Right. Take
Okay,
care, all. Sorry about the tech troubles.
Hey, life happens. Okay, I am setting it to end. It says the bonus roll. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Twitter at bonus roll. They really should because I'm going to start doing things like watch parties, and that's the best way to find out when I'm doing a watch party.
Ooh. Ah.
next time you get to see our level up choices.